Now that your unit is programmed, it is time to choose the placement of your camera. To give you a good understanding of what needs to be captured to accurately process your studies, we'll show you how your video is configured for processing when it is uploaded. Once your video has successfully uploaded, it gets sent to our configuration team. This team will spot check the video for anything that could cause accuracy issues and will mark in each of the approaches with the blue polygons you see here. These blue areas mark the entry and exit points of the vehicles and also indicate where the crosswalk movements will be captured. Next, each movement is marked onto the screenshot. This includes all possible vehicle movements, including U-turns, as well as bidirectional crosswalk movements. It is important to note that each of these full movements needs to be marked on a single camera. You can use multiple cameras to get a better view of particular movements. However, the full movement needs to be captured and configured on one single camera view. Vehicles cannot be tracked between cameras. Finally, our configuration team will give each video a star rating. Anything in the 4 to 5 star range means we have good visibility of the movements and we will put the video through for processing. If the video is rated 3 stars or less, this means that there are concerns with the video processing. The concerns could range from the distance or visibility of certain movements to simply looking for clarification on what you wish to have processed. In these cases, your study will be put on hold for feedback and you will receive an email detailing any concerns and recommendations on how to proceed. Once you receive this notification, if you want to proceed with our suggestion, you can simply click on Continue Processing. You can also cancel the study if you would prefer to recapture the video. If you cancel the study while it is on hold, there are no charges incurred. You can also respond to the feedback and give further instructions, or get in touch with us to discuss options. Your Scout can be used for both vehicle and pedestrian studies. For vehicle studies, all movements need to be within 175 feet of the camera for ideal processing. For vehicle studies, we offer turning movement counts with the option of including crosswalks, ATR road volume studies, and roundabout studies. If you are doing a pedestrian pathway or junction study, all the movements need to be within 125 feet. This distance is from the camera to your furthest movement. If your intersection is larger than 175 feet, then you will require additional scouts to capture all the movements. For ATR or road volume studies, we offer multiple options for reporting. If you want to have the total volumes reported by direction, for example, all of your northbound as one volume and all of your southbound as a separate volume, then we can process up to 6 lanes on one camera. If you want to have each lane separated out as individual volumes, up to 4 lanes can be processed on one camera. You can deploy multiple scouts if you require additional lanes. For TMC and volume studies, the number of scouts will not change the pricing for your study, so feel free to add additional scouts to ensure full coverage of your required movements. If you are using multiple cameras to capture your intersection, often placing them on the outside of the intersection and angled towards the center will give you your best view. Make sure you do not angle the cameras away from each other, as they will only capture part of a complete movement. For example, with this offset intersection, the vehicles would not be able to be tracked past this line, and each camera would need to be processed as a separate study, which would double your processing costs. You should instead place the cameras on the outside corners to give you a good view of each right turn, while still being able to track the full left movement on a single camera. This skewed intersection is another good example of using your outside point by placing the camera on the acute angles, not the obtuse angles. We also offer roundabout studies. Roundabout studies have 2 pricing levels, one for small or single camera roundabouts, and 1 for large or multi-camera roundabouts. A small roundabout is a roundabout that is 175 feet or less and can be captured with 1 camera without an obstruction blocking any movements. Any roundabout that takes multiple cameras to capture requires an additional algorithm to process and will be billed at a large roundabout rate. With 3 or 4 approach multi-camera roundabouts, in order to process the movements, we need to see the first right exit from each approach. This allows us to separate the vehicles exiting the roundabout from the vehicles continuing to circulate. For 5 approach roundabouts, we need to see the first and second exits from each approach. Here are some of the more common pitfalls when placing your camera for recording and how best to avoid these issues. First is making sure you always do a camera check once you have set up your unit. This will allow you to check the angle of the camera and verify that all your required movements are being captured. Next is making sure there is nothing blocking the view of the camera. Poles, trees, or even large parked vehicles can block some of your movements and cause missing movements or reduced accuracy. When the pole mount is fully deployed, it is 21 feet tall. We recommend fully extending the pole mount whenever possible. This will give you a more top-down view of your intersection and will prevent issues like this, where a large vehicle may block a smaller vehicle and reduce your accuracy. Since our software has a distance limit of 175 feet for vehicle studies, placing the camera as close to the intersection as possible safely will give you the best use of that distance. Ideally, the camera would be less than 12 feet from the intersection. Finally, sun glare can cause issues on your studies, especially if you're recording over sunrise or sunset periods. When positioning your camera, angle it on a north-south axis rather than an east-west, and this will greatly reduce the risk of sun glares affecting your results.